Alright, what we're looking at today is we are looking at a right angle triangle, and what we want to do is we want to work out the hypotenuse in this triangle. So we've got side A and we've got side B. We're given some lengths, so side A is 3.6 and side B is 7.6. So what we have to do is we want to calculate out this length here, which is known as the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle. So what we need to do is we need a formula. So the formula is known as Pythagoras' theorem. Doesn't change, it's exactly the same all the time. And the formula is c squared, this being c, an unknown length, c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So therefore c equals the square root of a squared plus b squared. Now if you look at the set out of the page, it's very clear. So if you do this, you draw yourself a triangle neatly, and then you name it A, B, C, and you put in the known lengths, it'll become very, very easy to do. If you don't do it and your page is messy, you're going to end up confused. But neatness in mathematics is very important. So what we want to do is we want to work this out now. Because we've done this, we've named it A, B and C, and it's got the length beside each letter, we can then substitute the letter for the number, which makes it very, very simple. So let's go over to our workings. We always have a workings area when we do maths. So if we make an error, we can go back into the workings and we can find out where the error was. It's no use doing it in our calculator and just putting the answer down, because if the answer is wrong, then we don't know where the error occurred in the equation. So let's have a look at our workings. The first thing we want to do is we want to look back to our formula, and we want to go, what do we do to find C? So we know C equals the square root of a squared plus b squared. So what we're going to do is we're going to write it out again. We're going to write C equals the square root, and we're going to open up a bracket, and then we're going to look for A, because it's telling me that C equals a squared plus b squared. So what I want to do is I want to find A, so I go across to the triangle that you've drawn and I look at A, and it tells me it's 3.6. So then all I'm going to do is substitute A for 3.6, and I'm going to put in 3.6 squared, because it's telling me it must be squared, plus, and then I want to find what B is, because it's telling me over in the formula that it needs to find B. So I'm going to go up to my triangle that you've drawn, and I'm going to look B, and it tells me it's 7.6. So then I'm going to put in 7.6 squared, because it's telling me that it's got to be squared, and then I'm going to close the bracket. So then what I'm going to put into the calculator is the square root, open a bracket, 3.6 squared plus 7.6 squared. I'm going to close the bracket, and then I'm going to press equals. And the answer you'll come up with is 8.409518447. So that number's too long. Alright? So if we look at this note here, rounding up, what is it? So in carpentry, we always round up to 3 decimal places. So that means I need to go 8.123. So I need to finish there. So if this number is 5 and above being 4, that means I make the number before it the next number. So that means the 5 makes this 9, so one more number after 9 is 10. So therefore, C equals 8.410. So we'll just say that again. We always round up to 3 decimal places. So this is the answer you would have got if you put in square root of bracket 3.6 squared plus 7.6 squared, close bracket, equals 8.40951847. We need to round up to 3 decimal places. So the 9, the 5 makes the 9 a 10. So the answer becomes 8.410. So therefore, with those simple calculations, you found out what C is. And then with this number, 8401, you're going to take it over here on your drawing. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put C, which is already there, 8.410. And the reason that we round up to 3 decimal places is because in our carpentry industry we're dealing in millimetres. So that's 8,410 millimetres. So if I left that there, I'll put that there, if I left that and I didn't round that up, it would tell me that it's 8,409. So in reality, I'd be short by 1 millimetre. If I only rounded up to 2 millimetres, it'd be 8.40, so I'd be short by 9 millimetres. If I only rounded up to 1 decimal place, I'd be short by 9 millimetres, which is a lot when we're doing roofing or any construction work. So there we're always going to the 3 decimal places, very important. Okay, that concludes working out the hypotenuse for a right angle triangle. As I said, if you use this formula, you write this down first, draw your triangle, put in your measurements that are known, follow these simple steps, you'll be quite confident in working out the hypotenuse of a triangle. I would suggest, in a bit of quiet time by yourself, you just make up some measurements for B, make up some measurements for A, and just follow this formula and calculate up maybe 5 exercises so you get the hang of working out the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle. Okay, that concludes this lesson, and I'll leave it with you.